The pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is there a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Move on to public comment. If you please, limit your comments to 3 minutes or less, provide your name and address.
I'm Karen Jenkins and I live at 717 Mandanao Road. I'm here tonight because I'd like to recognize a person who has been on our town board for 12 years. And this is probably your last meeting. I wanted people to know that when I was a board member and I started on the board, Cindy Carroll took me under her wing and helped me to be a good board member. We talked about things together. I understood her point of view. She understood mine. And it was a great team. Whether Cindy was organizing the annual Veterans Day lunches, getting supplies for cocoa, which she brought regular chocolate with no cocoa, and we had to go buy Cremora to put in it for the.
It was only once.
That was only one. That, well, the Firemen's Christmas Parade, she marched in all of the parades, handed out masks and hand sanitizers during the COVID era. She campaigned for anybody and everyone when we were needing help. She always took care of the newbies, and she always made you feel as though you were appreciated for you and what your thoughts were. That's the Cindy that no matter who you were, who was on the board here. Over the years, Cindy has served on the library committee as the town liaison. She created a strong relationship with the library board members and is highly respected. She was also a big part of the comprehensive planning committee, the historical preservation committee, and finally was a great asset on the Christopher Koch Memorial Committee. Cindy managed to do all of that and carry a full-time teaching job. Over the last year, Cindy has had to take care of her husband who had cancer. And from my vantage point, was still able to fulfill all of her responsibilities. On behalf of the town of Mendon, I want to thank you, Cindy, personally, for all you have done for our community and for the board. I wish you well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I'm not as well prepared as Karen is, but again, I want to thank Cindy. She's been on the board for 12 years. She was here the whole, almost 10 years I was on the board. I'm not going to go over the list of accomplishments she did. I did enjoy the time we spent on the memorial committee, and but I know it's been tough the last year and a half for you because you know, things are things in this town. You stuck it out. I didn't. I mean, I decided 8 months ago, my sanity and my health could no longer tolerate what I was experiencing. That's on me. One story I wanted to bring up that I really learned to appreciate Cindy. There was a meeting that was particularly chippy. Things were coming my way inbound. And at one point she leaned over to me and she said, "If you walk, I'll walk with you." I appreciated that. I appreciated the support. I didn't take her up on her offer, but I did appreciate that support and that friendship. So I've had 3 minutes. What the heck? I'm with Karen here. I just would be remiss not to bring up the fact that her personal reputation has been attacked by a town of men and elected officials in the past year. She was a good board member. You can, you know, say you disagree with that or whatever. She's a professional. We called on her professional judgment in a case, and yet people at this town made it sound like she was an agenda-driven person. That's wrong. So anyways, one last thing, we got Joe, we got Tanner, we got Rebecca here, the council people and supervisor elect. I wish you well. I look forward to, I read all the campaign stuff and you kind of were speaking to me when you were talking about transparency and you were talking about inclusivity. So I look forward to see how that plays out the next year. What I will impart to you is some advice I was given when I was a wet behind the ears board member in my first. It actually came from Supervisor Moffett. He said, you go to board meetings, you vote your conscience, you vote the way you feel you are representing the constituents, not just the ones that voted for you, everyone. You do that, you may disagree with each other, but at the end of the meeting, you shake hands and you walk away. Now, I didn't find that that didn't really, that's great practical advice, but sometimes it doesn't work out. But anyways, I think if you guys follow that advice, and remember, it's the town, keep the town at the center of everything. So that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Joe?
Bill Lottie, 3516 West Linden Road. No, John, we haven't always seen eye to eye. And the fact is, you have served this town for 15 years, and that counts for something. So, say thank you. Thank you to all of you for that service.
I've waited my whole life to correct a teacher, 60. Most of the time they were correcting me. Anybody else?
So noted.
Okay, we'll move on to communications. Tom,
Now, prior to the snowfalls, we were sweeping some of the older subdivisions that have a lot of mature trees in them. Sweeping the leaves down the gutters, cleaning out the catch basins. And we were doing that up till winter came. We installed 4.2 miles of snow fence. And we were trimming trees along the town roads, and now we're into snow and ice removal.
did you share the information that you told me about snow fence and the state of New York?
Well, the state of New York increased their fees, but they're paying municipalities for snow fence from $1.36 a foot. It was a 2017 rate up to $5 a foot. So we brought in almost $40,000 just snow fence and state roads.
And public safety. Thank you. We'll move on to Tom Fromberger.
Good evening, Supervisor and board members. We handed out our packet as this kind of the projects that we've been working on, which was Victor Menden Road. No real updates in any of those items. We are here tonight to talk about the Stone Lonesome Road partial closure. So we're later.
Thank you. Okay. We'll move on to Brent.
Attended the Veterans Luncheon. It was well run and well received. Proud to be a part of that. Went to the planning board meeting on November 19th. There was a 2-lot subdivision with site plans. The planning board requested more information and the environmental conservation report. Those applicants are returning on December 17th to look at that again. Went to the MCBA meeting. They have new officers elected for 2026. Attended holidays in the hamlet. It's good to see the horse-drawn carriage was well received. And I want to thank the all people involved getting the holidays lights up in the hamlet before that event. It seems like this year had a few more plow runs than usual for this season. All this time, easy turnaround. I appreciate that. That's all that I have.
Kim?
There's not been a ZBA meeting since the last report. The next one is scheduled for this Thursday. I too attended and assisted with the Veterans Day Luncheon, which had an excellent turnout. Many attendees expressed their appreciation for this event. I participated in the Employee Recognition Luncheon, where years of service were acknowledged and certificates were presented. And I have met with the incoming supervisor-elect to begin building a rapport and discuss the transition process.
Thank you. Cindy?
With, with regard to the library, the MCLS, Monroe County Library System, will provide new Wi-Fi hotspots to be housed at individual libraries in the new year. The Mendon Public Library is participating in the holiday parade on the evening of December 13th. There was an advocacy meeting with Senator Helming on December 5th. At the November Friends meeting, Lila presented a 2026 wish list, which included several items that she's looking for. The Friends participated in the Rock the Day fundraiser on December 5th, and the Friends meeting dates have been changed to the second Thursday of each month. The children's events have been well attended. On Thursday, December 11th, the library will offer a timeless tales story time at Pinehurst, complete with songs and stories and multi-generational cookie decorating. The library will also offer a few fun kids events during the drawing program. A puzzle contest, a flute story time, and the end of year magic show. The new year will start with a kid-friendly recycling story time, and there will be some collaborative programs that will happen on Martin Luther King Day. And that's it for the library. And I would like to share with you and be very clear tonight, because soft language won't fix what's been happening. However, first, it's important to me to express my gratitude to the Mendon community for its support of me over the past 12 years. It has been my pleasure and honor to serve you, and I thank you all. I stepped onto the board with the expectation that integrity, transparency, fairness, and respect would guide every decision made here. Those aren't lofty ideals. They are baseline requirements for anyone trusted to lead this community. However, over the past couple of years, sadly, those standards have deteriorated. Transparency has been selective. Personal agendas took priority over sound judgment. People have been spoken to and treated in ways that are completely unacceptable. These are not isolated moments. They form a pattern. And yes, others on this board, both current and former, have witnessed or been victims to this behavior. When leadership abandons integrity, it's not just an internal issue. It endangers this community. It creates distrust. It weakens decision-making. It devalues the people we are here to serve. That is what has been happening, and it needs to be called out for what it is. You, the Mendon community, deserve better than that behavior. You have always expected accountability and respect from your leaders, and your expectations were right. To former board members Karen Jenkins, Tom Dubois, Wayne Menz, and John Haygreen, who consistently upheld those expectations, I thank you. You demonstrated what real leadership looks like, and that example matters. To the new administration, I congratulate you and wish you well in your tenure. I hope you take a hard look at the responsibility you've stepped into. This community will not thrive under secrecy, personal motives, or disrespect. I implore you to set a high standard, enforce it, and remember that leadership is not about control, it's about character. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, I'm done.
Jim?
Yeah, I attended the December 2nd Environmental Conservation Board meeting, and they continued to review the two-lot subdivision and site plan on corner of West Bloomfield and without mail. And the applicants did appear at that meeting, and they were able to discuss some things with the board. They reviewed the maps and the EPOD maps. And they scheduled a site visit, which I believe they completed this past weekend. That was all for the ECB. Historic Preservation canceled their meeting, so they did not have a meeting. For the Legion, this week, the Legion Christmas party, it will be Thursday, the 6th, up at the Community Center Post Home. And the Legion will also be participating in the Fire Department Christmas Parade here on Saturday, the 13th. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Mhm.
A couple of things. First of all, I'll be making the bond payments tomorrow for the library and water districts. This is a semi-annual bond payments that this time of year is principal and interest on both. We had a request from a new resident on Mendon Green for a street light out at 64. The highway superintendent had a conversation with the resident, and not sure where it's going to go from here, but it was a request. Let's see. I've been meeting with representatives of NYMER, our insurance company. Attended the Honey Falls Fire Department turkey raffle, Veterans Day lunch, as most of you mentioned, recognition lunch. Mendon Youth Center is open. We seem to be moving along there. We've got a couple new games that have just come in. They're being put together, something to kind of freshen it up for the kids. There's a menorah lighting over here by the totem pole. I think it's the totem pole still there. I know they want to take it down. On December 17th at 6 p.m. And I did attend the holidays in the Hamlet recently. I got a phone call from a lady, and it's kind of, this is on a personal note. Got a phone call from a lady from Michigan, a house, some time ago. Jotted down some notes, never really followed up on it. Was cleaning a few things out, ironically, and came across it, and ended up getting in touch with the town historian and about the first supervisor of Mendon, Jonas Allen. Once the town of Mendon was incorporated, Jonas had a granddaughter, Rachel Allen, whose husband, she had a son, Frank. Excuse me. She had a son, Frank, who was killed in a train accident in Chautauqua County in 1872 on Christmas Eve. Well, anyway, he ended up marrying my grandmother. Let's put it that way. So what she was able to discern from all this information that I had, which was sketchy at best, was that the first supervisor is my step grandfather 5 times, which I thought was kind of interesting. And I know that's not really the point of being here, but I thought I'd share it with the board since this is one of my last meetings. And that concludes my communications. We'll move on to Supervisor's Monthly Report.
Thank you, Tom. I'll make a motion to acknowledge receipt of the Supervisor's Monthly Report for October 2025.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Town Clerk's Monthly Report.
I'll make a motion to acknowledge receipt of the town clerk's monthly report for November 2025, showing receipts and disbursements in the amount of $13,985.30.
Second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? You. Minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting held on November 10th, 2025 as presented.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Budget adjustment.
Make a motion to approve the budget adjustments as outlined in the agenda.
I'll second that.
And those are two expense lines. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Vouchers,
Make a motion to approve all claims on vouchers number 25-589 to 25-601 on general abstract 25-12A in the amount of $29,740.72.
Second.
One thing I do have to mention about the vouchers in here. And I don't want to make sure this is the correct one. I'm pretty sure it is. We had the. Yes. Don't forgive me. It's on vouchers 12B. So I have nothing to say about 12A.
okay? Any other discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you.
All right, so I'll make a motion to approve all claims on vouchers number 25-602 to 25-649 on general abstract 25-12B in the amount of $55,648.11.
Second.
So on this one, last meeting, we approved the quote from Kevin Quigley to provide the horse-drawn carriages for the holidays in the hamlet for $1,500. The condition of that was we wanted the town to be named additionally assured on that. The voucher that we have in here has been submitted for $1,600, an extra $100 to provide that additional insurance. So, I mean, I talked with John about this earlier, you know, we approved it for $1,500, the invoice is $1,600. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Basically, John, if I'm not mistaken, is if we approve that, we're basically saying, okay, it's an additional $100 for the insurance.
Correct. Or we can back off the $100, because we did, you know, that wasn't the intention of the original quote that we received, which is the same vendor as last year.
Yes.
So I'm sure he should have known that he was, I can't find it, Brent, but do you have the certificate in front of you?
Not in front of me.
Yeah, no.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, it's in the voucher.
Attached to the.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
attached to the vouchers. Give me just a minute, so I make sure I just
And that's
fix up
in
all this
B.
paperwork.
It's in
When you
B,
brought
correct?
that up to me
Yes.
late this afternoon, I meant to double check it and I forgot to.
The big one.
Where is it?
Yeah, remember. I didn't think so.
More to go.
What was the guy's name again?
Quickly.
Kevin Quigley,
It's after Karen.
Kate and
Marching.
Bertram's.
yeah.
We didn't get
How
it
far down
from,
the list is it? About halfway,
we didn't get it from him
Yeah.
directly. This-
Yeah, about half.
a little more than halfway.
Yeah,
You remember,
women were still in order.
Brett, do you remember
I
who
think that
who
one-
sent us
It should be right.
the quote?
The
Was it
quote
Angela?
came from Angela, yes, that is correct.
If you went to MRV, then you went.
Not the MRB, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You went too far.
Yeah.
I think you went too far.
Start from the beginning.
Excuse me. Yeah, I've got the quote here.
I know this is not being, difficult. It's like.
I've got the quote, but I was using a quote for it.
Then Hardy Mounts, yeah, there must be stuff together. B, correct? Yeah, MB. Oh, I saw it, there's the DMV fees. MBO. Slip recruiter. Where are these?
Unless the
Code.
certificate's not included.
Keep going.
You got to keep
What
going.
do you wanna know? I have it pulled up on my computer.
Do you? Well, John had a question about the certificate,
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I was,
community band.
Marketplace,
exactly.
Well, it
Case,
We'd have to
You done
turn
December 3rd. Was that December 3rd?
no,
December 3rd was when the holidays in the Hamlet was, yes.
and it says certificate holder,
It does.
Should be right
list
at
the
the
time
top.
of it.
but it does not say that the additional
you.
certificate
Yep.
holder is additionally insured. My experience. Previous lifetime says that they're two different things and you do not get charged for it to be a certificate holder. You would only get charged, and that depends on the insurance company if you're additionally insured.
It is my experience that there's no additional monies for adding an additional insured either.
Well,
When I have clients that ask for it, I just put them on there and there's no charge.
I've had both.
Have you? Okay.
I've had people charge, I've had insurance company charge me for additional insured, but certificate holder is not a fee. And on there, it just says certificate holder. So I would recommend that we do not pay the extra $100.
I would agree.
Because we're not paying for additional insured. It doesn't say so on the accord form.
Right.
So you recommend that?
The voucher is for the 1,600, correct?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you wanted that to be changed, someone could make a motion simply to amend.
I'll make that motion to amend it to 1,500.
I will second that, and I think Cindy, so that motion then would result in my motion being changed to $55,548.11.
Correct.
We need a second for that change in.
There would be, so there was an original motion, a second, and then there, I believe there was a second to the motion to amend, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so now you need a vote on the motion. to amend.
All in favor for the amendment?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Highway abstract.
We voted on the amendment, so that include the different price.
Yes.
Okay.
So who first and seconded them?
The amendment, I think
So-
I made,
Yeah,
and Brent seconded.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
highway abstract, I make a motion to approve all claims on vouchers number 25-356 to 25-380 on highway abstract 25-12 in the amount of $409,624.36.
And I'll second that.
Any discussion?
The only thing I'll say, there was a large fee for a plow truck. That's a truck for 300 and some $1,000. And then there was another one, but not nearly obviously as hefty. I can't remember what that one was for though. Pardon me?
It was a pickup.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Go ahead, Brent.
Library. You want me to make the motion?
No, it's no motion, just make
Yeah,
a
right.
note that library abstract A vouchers number 25-188 to 25-195 on library abstract 25-12A in the amount of $1,543.08 was presented to the town board for payment. In library abstract B, library vouchers 25-196 to 25-207 on library abstract 25-12B, the amount of $19,646.46 were presented to the town board for payment.
Thank you.
Thanks for sussing that one out too.
Yeah, thanks for catching that. 11 is a public hearing on Stony Lonesome Road closure. I'm opening the public hearing at 7:30 PM. If you would please provide your name, address, limit your comments to 3 minutes or less until everyone has had a chance to speak. I appreciate it.
Ross Woolley. 45 Clover Street, Miami Falls. For those of you that aren't familiar with where I live, I am very near to that intersection, Valley of, Valley, low spot there, right next to the Lehigh Valley Trail. I've personally been a first responder to several accidents at that intersection. Fortunately, I wasn't able to find much information about what the town intends to do there, so it's kind of my reason for being here tonight is to learn more about the plan. I did try to reach, going back through videos of the town meetings. It's very hard to find a specific thing. At any rate, I'm concerned about closing that road in the speeds on Clover Street. That is a raceway. Everybody passes in that area. And when there's one less thing for people to watch out for, an intersection there, I feel as though it's going to get even faster. So I wish the board to consider some measures to keep speed under control if they wish to pursue this closure. That's my primary concern, is that it's really fast in that area. There's never any police in the area.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? I did receive an email from Tom Gift regarding it. He said, I saw your remarks in the Sentinel regarding Stony Lonesome. I believe closing the entrance to Clover from Stony Lonesome from the east side is a good idea. I believe as well that closing the entrance to Clover from Stony Lonesome on the west side would be desirable. Would likely reduce accidents and injuries at what's known to be a dangerous intersection. I did mention to Mr. Gift in my email reply that Route 65 is a state road. The west side of Stony Lonesome Road is a county road. It is not within the town's purview to close the other side. When we met with state DOT, they said it would be 3 to 5 years to close the other side if that actually happens. As far as the speed on Route 65, again, completely out of the town's control. State highway. Haven't lived probably the first 20 years or so on Clover Street, maybe not 20, but close to it. On Clover Street, I can tell you that that is, it's a state highway, it's a wide road, and I'd like to say everybody adheres to the speed limit, but I was born at night, but not in West. So, is there anyone else who'd like to comment?
I have a quick comment. I don't know much about,
Have your name and address.
oh, I'm sorry, Rebecca Cruiser, 8 Creekside Drive, on my falls. If there's an alternatives analysis of some kind, I'm not familiar with the statistics for the accidents that have occurred, so I'm just curious if there's a report somewhere. I know you can't respond, but that would be helpful for community to read an alternatives analysis. That's all.
Thank you. Anyone else? Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
I'm wondering if we should leave it open, because we have interested agencies have until our next meeting to put their process comments in writing. So I think we should leave this open in case we get any comments to review, to give the public a chance to review. And also I think we have plans. We have PDF plans we could put up on the town website.
Sure.
So that's why I think we should leave the public hearing open.
That makes sense.
Okay, sounds good. At this point then, sir, we need a motion to just leave it open.
Just twist up a minute to reflect it. That it's open.
So, do you want to make that motion, Brett?
With the public hearing open, so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Next is the tax receivers 2026 bond.
I'll make a motion to adopt the following. Be it resolved by the Board of the Town of Mendon as follows. Town Board hereby approves the surety form and amount of the official undertaking for the faithful performance of the duties of the town clerk and receiver of taxes and assessments as follows. It is the type of undertaking is a public employee dishonesty. Insurance company is NYMAR. Policy number is listed. It goes from 1/1/26 to 1/1/27. And the amount is $500,000 excess limit on town clerk and tax receiver. Section 2, a true copy of this resolution shall be affixed to the undertaking to indicate this board's approval thereon in accordance with town law, section 25.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. 2025 New York State Annual Financial Report.
I'll make a motion to enter into an agreement with Laura Landers to consult with and prepare the New York State Annual Financial Report document for the year ending December 31st, 2025, and a cost not to exceed $3,000 to be paid from account A1310.4.
Second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 14 is New York State Snow and Ice Agreement. This is an amendment.
Make a motion to amend the municipal snow and ice agreement with the New York State Department of Transportation for the 25-26 season according to the supplemental agreement submitted to the board on this date.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Tom, anything you want to add?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next is the 2026 284.
Make a motion to enter an agreement with the highway superintendent as following listed in our agenda.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Tom, you got a lot of stuff on it. A lot of subdivisions.
Yep.
Was on here, a lot of crack sealing. I think you mentioned you're doing a lot more micro paving, correct?
Yes.
And less oiling and stoning.
Mhm.
I think in my opinion, residents are gonna quite like that.
Can you explain,
Agreed. That's
can
something
you explain the
I've,
difference to me? Or anybody else?
The stone and oil. When you put that down, they'll crack seal, they'll stone and oil, then we'll sweep it, then they micro pave over top of it. So it gives it that black look. It's not dusty, smoother than regular stone and oil, and it's an additional wear surface on the road.
Okay. Thank you.
And I'm assuming you've kind of went over this or put this together with the incoming highway superintendent.
I can only say that I've been for this type of procedure on our track roads for some time. I'm glad to see we're changing some procedures.
Looks like you're micro paving Mendon Farms.
Yes.
Yes. It's gonna be a little. Gonna take some coordination.
Yeah, a lot of traffic control.
A lot of traffic.
Yeah, I'm sure that they'll make every effort to let the residents know, but there's a waiting period with this. 3 hours,
Weather depending.
weather depending.
Okay.
That's good.
I think most residents that I speak to will much prefer 3 hours of convenience to stone oil.
I agree.
Any other discussion from the board? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Number 16 is
Does that mean everybody's signature?
I think it does.
Or, yeah.
Thanks for tonight.
Good catch.
I'm not sure I have it, Michelle, because it's all spelled out in the agenda, so I wouldn't have a separate copy. So I will Here, I don't think I have it. Supplemental agreement, there it is.
Yeah, I can say, I thought I saw that.
Pass it on down.
Oops.
Okay to go?
Yeah.
Okay, number 16, 2026 organization.
I'll make a motion to hold the 2026 organizational meeting of the Town of Mendon at 7 PM on Monday, January 5th at the Mendon Town Hall, 16 West Main Street.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Number 7, short-term rental. This is to establish a public hearing.
I'll make a motion to hold a public hearing, 7 PM or as soon thereafter as said hearing can be convened on Monday, December 29th, 2025 at the Mendon Town Hall pursuant to section 208-12D of the Mendon Town Code for the purpose of considering the renewal of the short-term rental at 3880 Rush Mendon Road.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Um,
Plan.
Yes. Number 18 is the New York Planning Federation Annual Conference.
I'll make a motion to authorize the attendance of the following individuals at the New York Planning Federation Annual Conference, April 19th through the 21st in Cooperstown, New York. Brooke Buckland, Corey Gates, Danielle Lipitor, and Chris Mayhood. Registration fee is $300 per person and will be paid from account B8020.4. Food and transportation lodging costs are separate and will be requested to be approved at a later date.
Second that.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of training. I've been a big proponent of using this planning federation training in the past, for the secretary of the planning board, our past two for the last 2 years. I also see with the code enforcement officer, registration fee is $300. But this is a 2-night stay in a hotel and mileage to be paid. Last 2 years, we have done a cost not to exceed of $1,000 for the planning board secretary. So this is, and what I'm trying to get at is the reason why I was a big proponent of this planning board secretary, code enforcement officer, who's also our planning board officer, is the concentration of training that's offered in here over the course of a day and a half. And it's really important and it gets them up to speed. We have 2 appointed board members on here that we're looking. I'm assuming that the hotels in Cooperstown are going to be very comparative to Saratoga Springs. So we're talking about $1,000 for a ZBA member and a planning board member to go to a day and a half of training when they need 4 hours of training. And the day and a half of training is offered in Rochester, in Canandaigua, in Batavia at the cost of $60 to $100. The cost benefit ratio is out of whack in my mind for what we're looking at for appointed board members. I think it's definitely useful for our full-time employees to go to this, but it just seems a little bit out of whack for me to have some planning board members that need 4 hours of training that can get it in Rochester for less than 1/10 of the cost.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, me too. That's a good point.
So let's prove it for those 2.
That I would be, if it was for our 2 full-time employees, I would be agreeable to voting yes. If it was for all 4 of these, I would be voting no.
Then I will change my motion to, everything remains the same, except it will just be for Corey Gates and Brooke Buckland.
That just needs to be agreeable with whoever seconded it.
I second it.
Further discussion. Obviously, you're not going to get the same amount of training in 4 hours that you're going to get in a couple of days. This the individuals who represent the town of Mendon have been to this town, this training, extremely useful. I personally thought it was a good idea to have somebody, one person from the planning and one person from the zoning board to attend, to be able to share their experience with the other planning and zoning board members. It is costly, I agree, but you know, not everything's available on Zoom. Not everything's available. The newly elected school this year closest one is in Corning. Well, the 2 times I went, it was in Henrietta. You know, Corning could be commutable, I will call it. But there's a lot, as most of you have been to training, there's a lot to be learned during these training sessions, and not all of it happens during what I call the class time. I've had some of the best interactions I've had with people who've been outside the classroom, so to speak. So I'm gonna share my opinion, and that's it. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That's me. Let's see, we'll go on to declaration of surplus.
I'll make a motion to declare the following surplus as listed in our agenda.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Back to public comment. Please provide your name, address, and limit your comments to 3 minutes or less.
Approximately 4566 Clover Street. So my main objective to come tonight was to learn about the closure of Tony Lonesome. Fortunately, I didn't really learn much about it. There's really no information on the website about it. There's very little to find anywhere. I think just a point of a public discussion about closure of something or topic in general, there should be something more than a notice that we're going to discuss it, and not anything about why they want to do it, when they want to do it, anything.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Ben Stick, 53 Hawksview. This is a follow-up from when I was here last month to talk with you all.
Thanks.
And I took what you recommended, John, and spoke with Corey Gates, the code enforcement officer. And sorry, I didn't bring a copy for everybody. We had a very good meeting, and Michelle helped me out with a freedom of information request about Pat's complaints related to the 3898 Rushman Road address. Time I spent with Corey, I also went through how I gathered the information to show that there appears to be an operating business at that address. I gave him the same information I gave you about Matt Fritz having registered a business called American Patriot Sportswear at a P.O. Box address in Victor, but then advertising online, mainly on Facebook and under a variety of names on Facebook, that he was selling goods both out of an address on Phillips Road in Victor, as well as out of the residence at 3898 Rushman Road. Corey has, and in response to past complaints, what I found from the freedom of information request, he's followed up on complaints about past complaints about operation of commercial business there, going back to 2020 and then again in 2024. But I feel like he's been hamstrung by advice either from the board or from town legal counsel about how to interpret the code and apply it to conducting sales in a business district by a business that isn't registered or permitted or ever sought information about use of signage for operating a business in the business district. We talked through some of that, and I think the hang up now is, and while I've asked in here for a finding from the town board, in reality, it's for the town board, you as supervisor, or Brian, you as counsel, to give clear information to Corey so that he knows what he can clearly enforced. I've provided more examples in here about how all of the items I've been able to find, all the items that are displayed on the front of the residence, or they've been posted in the yard, or they've been put up in the yard temporarily and then taken down, are also offered for sale through Fritz's Patriot Place online. So even if you were to interpret that he's not operating the business out of that address, he's using the house as advertising. And the town would no sooner allow an out-of-town business to put up a billboard without going through appropriate codes or requirements than it would a town that's a business that's right here in town. So I'm really looking for the board and or legal counsel to provide Corey with clear information so that he can go and enforce this. There has been some enforcement in the past, but it's been mainly over use of a sandwich sign in front that says, call this number or ring the doorbell to buy stuff here. And that sign has temporarily been removed and then it's been put back out at later dates. When the house is being used for advertisement for a business, whether those goods are actively being sold out of the house at that time or not, it's still, in my view, subject to the requirements for signage of a business operating in Mendon. And I'm looking for the town to enable Corey, give him the resources to go ahead and enforce it that way. This provides more examples than what I provided just last month. I think there's adequate evidence at this point to move ahead and do that, and I ask the board and legal counsel to please do that with Corey.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yes. As we heard in the beginning, that tonight marks Miss Carol's final meeting as a member of the Mendon Town Board. On behalf of the town, I wanted to extend our gratitude to Cindy for her dedicated service. And we just have a small token of appreciation to thank you, and we wish you the best in your future. It's actually a cutting board with the balls on it, and this was made by a student at Each Bell, so.
Yeah. Very nice. Thank you very much. Did you make it correct? One of my favorites.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Sorry, John.
Second.
I'm sorry.
Got one last thing.
Sure.
When I indicated that there's advertising that's done mainly through Prince's Facebook page, that includes today a reposting of a video that shows goods that he sells that he has in his warehouse, including items that, at least the last time I drove by last night, are still on display in front of his house. Now, I know some items have been interpreted by town council to be freedom of speech protected political displays. So for example, there's a elect at least FNX sign that's on the front lawn. He's selling those same signs for $20 a piece. So I don't know where the line breaks between, is it an advertisement for something he's selling out of his shop, or is it actually a freedom of speech political sign that is appearing in the front yard? Every item that I saw last night on the front of the house is displayed in advertising that he's had on Facebook, on his online posts. So I'm sorry for taking up.
No problem. Thank you. Was there a motion for? I'm sorry. Yes, sir. Go
Am I
ahead.
on the agenda?
No, sir.
Oh, okay.
No, sir. Did you want to say something?
Well, I was told that the decision relative to the zoning of my property was coming off tonight, and the planning board had made a recommendation.
The town board did get a recommendation. You are correct, from the planning board. However, there was no concise decision on how to move forward at this
Okay,
point.
I'd like to make some comments.
Sure.
Staff that I did not have enough copies of for everybody last week.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
I Bill Gallagher, 923, Pittsford, Mendon City Road. And what we're worried about is that our property is zoned currently R5, but should have been zoned R2. And our goal has not changed since 2000, when we first talked about this. What we wanted to do is leave the option for our kids to have a piece of property. In 2000, the kids were in high school, so we had no idea what they were going to do. At this point, they've all got jobs, but one is not going to move back from Indianapolis.
The other one is pretty happy in the city, walking his dog up and down this thing. And the third one is probably interested, but he's very worried that the job market is not going to be there with Rochester, and he doesn't want to move until it's time. One of the key points that we made last week, or last month, was is that in 2000, I made a diligent effort and set with site plans and survey maps, and came in November to get the property zoned R2. In December, it was zoned R5. And then we came back with what the last requirement, a C requirement, in January. And so I think it's basically I was treated unfairly in 2000, and the property should have been at that point zoned R2. In terms of the map, what it shows is that the property could comply with all the R2 requirements with 3 lots. It's not sure that we're going to use 3 lots, but I wanted to have the option to be able to do that. And that. In all likelihood, we're going to stay with 2, but you know, I want to have the option to have both boys be able to have a lot if they want it. That covers everything.
So if the town board was to take up changing the zoning, it would require a public hearing. So a public hearing would be posted in the paper with the legal notices. It would be obviously on the agenda, that type of thing. So
Okay.
it wouldn't sneak up on you, I guess is what I'm going to say. We'd be sure and let you know.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that they were going to talk about it last night.
Well, at the last town board meeting, we
Yes.
sent it to them.
Said
for-
they would take care of it. I wasn't needed, but then I thought, I wish I was there.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. Okay, so it's still open is what you're telling me?
Yes,
Good.
yes,
Sounds like some new people are gonna deal with it.
could be.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else before we go to adjourn? Motion for adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.